So then you said with regards to this upcoming deadline, no knee-jerk reaction. So
Yeah.
you've sort of thought this out in terms of not necessarily exactly what's going to happen, but you have an idea of what you'd like to accomplish. So when you think of someone like Danault, who we just talked about, how long in advance would someone like that, meaning not just that player, but stylistically, you mentioned the things you look for, hard and things like that. How would he have been an archetype of a type of player that you would have been thinking of for that spot 6 months, 12 months before you actually go out and get the deal done?
His compete, yes. I mean, it wasn't, I couldn't tell you. We did watch him. We knew he was going to become a free agent last year. And then when we ended the season last year, we were clear because of the way the growth of our prospect is coming. At the time, we set out to say we need 2 top 6 forwards. We weren't sure if it was going to be a center and a winger or 2 wingers. We knew it was never going to be 2 centers, but we knew if we had a chance to a center and a winger. Now, it's hard to add 2 top 6 forwards in free agency. So when Blakey had the opportunity to get Arvidsson early on in the summer, he jumped at it. So now suddenly we only had to get 1 more guy. And that's when we started doing work on, every other, wingers that were available. And, then there wasn't a lot of centers that were available. Like Danault was one of them. And when, talking with our scouts, looking at the data and looking at the type of team we want to be, it just seemed to be the right fit. But we still weren't sure what we're going to get him. You really never know. That's why free agency is hard. You got to be a little bit lucky to, you got to be ready early and you got to be a little bit lucky.
I like how you mentioned that, because you can come in with the best plan, Luke, and you want to stay on plan. When do you know? Is it a gut feel on when you might have, okay, well, this is our plan, but maybe it's 6 months ahead, or maybe some team's going to surprise you here in the final week and there's an offer that you might have said, hey, it's a little bit beforehand. How much, now that you're past the point of we're definitely not sellers, does it change? And sometimes you just got to go with you trust your gut to know that we might not be able to follow our path and timeline exactly. There might be opportunities where we have to jump ahead of it.
Well, we know if we had an opportunity, I think Blakey came out, I think it was last summer. He said, if we have an opportunity to get a defenseman younger than 25, 26, that could play the next 6, 7 years with us, we would look at it. So he's made that clear. And
like Jacob Chychrun.
Well, I don't know, how old is he?
Yeah.
Well, wait, I was laughing, Luke, when I heard that comment last summer, I was like, yeah, you and all 31 other teams are trying to do that.
Yeah. The difference is we have a lot of prospect. We have a lot of, you could call them assets. And fortunately or unfortunately for us, sometimes it's, you can't have, if you have like whatever, 20 assets, they can't all play for your team. And to be fair, they need a chance to play in the NHL. So, at some point that's going to happen. It's just the way it is. I mean, I remember Dean Lombardi made a huge trade for us to get Mike Richards, but we had to give up Wayne Simmons and Braden Shen, and those were, really good hockey players. And you look back, we won 2 Stanley Cups, and that was the right trade. But Braden Shen's had a great career, so did Wayne Simmons. And, that's the way it is sometimes in hockey.
And that's, I think, the balancing point for the Kings. And I love that you brought up, because you do have a lot of the prospects. Is there sleepless nights? Because some of them you really like, and we like this guy, and we like that guy, and then you got to hope, because sometimes you got to give to get something. You're right. You're not going to be able to trade all our bad prospects, and then we're going to get all these great players. That's fantasy trades, right? So is that going to be the toughest decisions, Luke? Maybe in the next year or so for this organization, is knowing which of the assets to move confidently, knowing that we're not going to give away necessarily the best one.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing. But if you want to get a player you really like, you're gonna have to give up a good player. That's just the way it is. It's just, there's no way you can't. you can't steal anything, it's just everybody has the data, everybody knows about each player. So you just got to be ready for that and see. It becomes more about fitting a hole. So if you're giving up a forward or a certain position for a defenseman, does he help your team more now than the other guy? And that's all it is. And for the player, is it better for him to really get a chance to play somewhere? I clearly remember we were having talk about when Mike Richard came, and wanted to talk with someone talking to me, says, well, if Braden Shen becomes successful, he'll play like Mike Richards. And that's, if you look at today, that's kind of who Braden Shen is. And he won a Stanley Cup, so they were right. It's just that we ended up winning 2 and we could have won 3, so that was the right move, but that's the way it is.